Okay, so the purpose of this video is to add validation to the forms of Flutterflow. We have this application. It's a Tinder clone, okay, and there are 2 pages. Sign up. Well, we have forms in 3 parts: sign up, in the login, okay, and in the my profile. Here I will not add any validation because it's not really. It's only a name and a description, so I don't really care. You could do it if you want, but I will only add it in the 2 parts, in the sign up and in the login. Okay, I will start by the login, right? So in the login, we have a column, and inside there are rows, and these rows have text fields, but these text fields are not validated. So we could add something which is not which is different, and the data would go through, and that's not what we want. We want some sort of validation. How can we fix this? How can we improve this page? Okay, we do right click on the column, we cut it, okay, and now we click on the add widgets, and there is one widget called forms, form validation, okay? And inside the form validation, we do right click, paste. Right. The design looks exactly the same. We have the input field email, input field password. In this case here, they're called text fields. And this form validation comes with some special properties. Below here, the validation property, right? So we will enable the automatically validate, and the form detects which text fields are inside the widget, which are the email and the password. I will select both because I might not want to validate all the fields, and I will say error message field is required, and the email we have like I could put minimum or maximum amount of characters, but there is a predefined validator, which is the email, that already validates an email. Look at this. We have username, email, website, and custom reg expressions that we will use this for the password. But now we want only to validate the email, right? And the text for the email validation should be a valid email address. Now you will see how this all looks. And in the password, we will say password required. And here I will say that the password is between 4 characters, and this error, when this condition is not met, this text will appear. Should be at least 4 characters and should be less than 6 characters. Okay, and finally, we could, if we want to make it more simple, we could use something called regular expressions, regex, and I could include these 2 inside the regular expression, but I'll leave it like this so that you have more. It's more rich, the form. It's more detailed, the error messages. But what are the regular expressions? Well, first of all, here we have none, username, website. It checks that it's a valid website address. And the regular expression, it's this, okay? If you go to JavaScript, you will see that it's a sort of type of syntax that validates if the text provided fulfills a certain criteria. It's complicated, so the way I do it to create regular expressions is I go to chat.openai and imagine that I want make a regular regexp for a text that meets the following conditions: 2 dot less than 4, so more than 4 characters, less than 6 characters, at least 1 number, and at least 1 special character. Okay, I send it, and this is the regular expression. Okay, so copy this And here ChatGPT explains you what is doing every part, right? So and if you want to validate, there is a web page, and you can validate here. You put the regular expression, and here you put if the regular expression to validate if it's fulfilled or not. Okay, and so let's go back here, and here in the regex I paste what it was created by ChatGPT, and I say should have one number and one special character. Okay, right. So we have put the validations, and I'm not sure if this will work. We will test it now. And finally, in the action, before I had an action that the only thing that was doing a login, and a traditional login, right? And now the form validation provides us with a new action, which is the validate form. Validate form, and this one needs to go in front, because if the form is not validated, the following action will not be executed. Okay, so it needs to be before, right? And here we need to set the form. This form, it's the one on the page. If I don't set any name on the validation form, it will automatically assign a number 1. But if here I say form login, right, and I save this, and I go back to the action, form login. Okay, this name is linked with that name. Great. This is from an old project where the Firebase login was the Firebase account was deleted. So I will create just a navigation, right? Navigate to another page. I don't really care, just so only to test it. You should add the Firebase authentication or whichever authentication method you have, but just for testing it, I'll launch it. And while this is loading, I will prepare also the sign up. I will do the same here. So right click, cut, form validation, right click, paste. And now I have it's more or less the same. The only form automatically validate, email required. Okay, this is of type email, email required, or password required, and here I'll put only 4 and 6 minimum characters, more than 4, less than 7, and here I don't want, this is very repetitive. So okay, so you get the idea. I will just validate the length, 6. Okay, I don't want to waste your time with this, right? And the action, because it's 3 steps. Okay, put in the form validation, applying the text in the validations, and then in the action is 3 steps. Okay, you can find this on the official docs. Like in the official docs, it's all of this explained. You put form validations Flutter flow, and that will lead you to the official documentation. And sign up. We come here, and I add the validate form. Validate form that goes before, and the form 1. Remember that the IDs are related to the page, so you can have 2 IDs because the scope is reduced to the page where we are working. Okay, let's try. Let's test this out. So we go to the, first of all, the login. Okay, if I don't fulfill the email, look, should be a valid email address. Yeah, this is working fine, you see. Yeah, this is validated, blue. Password should have one number, one special character, one number, and one special character. One number and one, okay, one special character. Yeah, it's fulfilled. It's working. And if I miss something, like for example, now there's not an email address, nothing happens. Nothing happens because the validation of the action, it's blocking. It's blocking, so it's not going to the next action, that in this case was to navigate to another page. But if this is correct, when I click, the action works. Great. Let's, this one is working. Let's test now the sign up, but should work the same way. Here in the sign up, I need to, I will not change this, but if we see the button loading, it means that it's working. But you will not see any create account because remember that this is from an old project and my Firebase account, my Firebase project was deleted. But if we see the spinning, that means that everything worked correctly, right? Okay, so we go to the sign up, and yeah, everything works more, yeah, works the same. The password, if it's wrong, nothing happens. But if the password is validated, now you will see a spinning. Yeah, you see the spinning. Well, this is an error, but it's an error from Firebase, which is good news. Firebase requires at least. These errors are from Firebase, are not from the validation form. So it's not really an error from the validation form. Sign up. Yeah, that's it. You see, it was spinning. Good. It didn't do anything because there's no project behind. But for you, it should work. And pretty much that's all. That's all we need. Okay. If you want, you can also add that you can also validate addresses and more like so addresses. No, sorry, dates. But you can see that with reg expressions, you can basically validate any input that you need. Okay. See you. Goodbye.